Hey, welcome back to Learning Self-Reliance. My name is Roland. Today we're going to be doing another mock bug out. Right here is my pack. This is how I keep it while I'm not using it. This is my wife's pack. She's going to be joining me tomorrow, not today, but the day after, and she'll be doing the mock bug out as well with this pack and her gear. So this is my gear here. This is how I keep it. I wanted to start from the beginning and talk about how we keep our stuff, because in my channel discussion I talked about showing off some more of my deeper preps and talking about why I do them, and this is part of it, which is having our Bugout bags nearly ready to go. I don't have it quite ready to go for a couple reasons which we're going to talk about, and I think they make sense for now, but the bags are mostly intact. The first thing that is not in in these bags is our electronics. This is a 6-gallon bucket. Inside here we keep our electronics. I've read this book by a guy about EMPs. I'll include a link in the description for you guys about that. And he talks about how this is one of the best buckets for it. He studies them for a living, apparently. So I'm going to zoom in on the camera and we'll talk about this bucket. So there's a couple of really important features about this bucket. First is that it's all steel and that the lid comes down past here. I've sealed it with duct tape. This is, I believe it's aluminum or steel tape that they used to seal ducts with. So this is not normal duct tape that you get at the store. This is the gray stuff. This is actual metal, and I've run around and sealed all of the seals on this thing with that, except for the lid, and the lid is held down really tightly by this handle here, which is pretty nice because you can, it takes a bit of effort to move it to the side, but it holds it down really well, and the guy in the book talks about that's a pretty important feature. So in here we keep our extra stuff for the bug out. This is my solar panel. This is my battery, which goes in here. I've got a couple of random little things in here as well. I have a second larger Faraday cage, but this is the bug out one, which I use up here because we go on these test trips on and off, and I don't want to have to reseal it because I use the metal tape to seal the lid of the larger one, and I don't want to have to cut that and reseal it every time. So this is where I keep our bug out bag stuff. So this is my bag of electronics. This is just chargers and cables. Here's our radio batteries. Let me grab my flashlight. And here, it's my wife's flashlight. This is my flashlight. I've got this larger Pathfinder PF25 V1, which I'm going to be putting on my rifle. And then I think that's everything for me here. Oh, I need the front of my radio. Okay, here's my radio. So this is how this works. I'm going to put this stuff back in and we're going to do a time of myself and see how I can put this stuff together. Another thing that I don't have this bag filled with is water. That's because it tastes horrible after it sits in a water bladder for a while. So I don't have the water in there, but I do have it sitting right here ready to go. So we could just pick this up, put it in the car and go and not have to worry about it. Okay, let's put these back in. And we'll talk about the sleeping bag. Another thing I'll be bringing on me with this trip is my AR-15. This is a Colt M4 Sporter, and we'll go into more details about it later. But I'm just bringing 2 magazines for it today. Inside of here, which we always have hanging up, is our sleeping bags. We each have a down sleeping bag, and you don't want to have down compressed all the time because it loses its insulation value if it's constantly compressed. So ours are kept hanging up in the closet until we need them, and then we stuff them in the bag. Alright, I'm going to get a stopwatch going, and we'll time me how long it takes to put all this bag together. I'm just curious to see how this goes. I think it's going to take me maybe 5 minutes to do this. Honestly, it's going to be difficult to put my boots on because they have so many loops and stuff like that. But there's going to be a few things that are going to slow me down, and I'm just going to grab the water bucket, or the water jug here, and take it to the car. So I'm going to start this timer. We'll add like 5 seconds or something for just pulling this out of the closet. Okay? Pull my bag off. You know what? Let's pause it, move the camera. Okay, we'll start it again. This is my food pack, which I will not be using today. I'll be bringing it, but not using it, because it's Mountain House. Those are kind of pricey. And so I'll just be grabbing some food from the store and just bringing that. I've tested the Mountain House plenty of times and I know I can use it. I know it'll work, so I don't need to test that today. Probably just bring some sandwiches or something like that today. So this is a down sleeping bag. And the advantage of down is that it can compress a lot for its size. It can get much smaller. So it looks like it's not quite going to fit into the bag, but all I got to do is kneel on it and it's going to get much smaller. So this is something my wife would also have to do. For her bag, she has another down sleeping bag. She actually has a women's version of the bag. I think it's the North Face Kazoo or something like that. It's good down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. Same with my bag, down to 5 degrees. Okay. Hardest part is over, getting the sleeping bag in. Now I'm just going to toss this guy on here, strap it on. This is about 3 days worth of food. I wish I could carry more than that, but it's already heavy enough. Carrying all this stuff. Okay. And you know, if this was a real situation, I'm sure I would be more flustered and confused, but my wife and I have a list written down of specific items that we need to bring so that we can check that when we're going. If the police per se, for example, ordered an evacuation or something like that, which they have done with Hurricane Katrina, they try to give them more than 10 minutes notice, but this clips onto the bag. I found that to be very important because I lost this up in the mountains and I had to go find it again. Flashlight works good. Rifle flashlight, and I think that's it for that stuff. We're at 2 minutes 50 seconds, so about 3 minutes right now. There's a tiny bit more room in my bag, which will be used by the water. But again, I don't have to put that in the water bladder because I can just pick it up and put it in my vehicle. And if I had to walk from this house, then I could put it in the bag. And I'm gonna take some time to set some water aside. Okay, the bag is done. This fell out, that's not good. Keep the timer going for that part. Okay. Now I need to put on my shoes. This is going to take some time. And I'll probably just cut this off once I'm done with this, but these are Danner's Gore-Tex. They're nice and waterproof. Great boots. These socks are wool socks. I have them higher up because these boots are high boots, which are good for winter and any sorts of rivers or something like that that I might run into. Just avoiding getting wet feet is a task. You look at old wars and stuff like that, and that's really what people dealt with, was trench foot and getting their feet wet and not being able to get them dry. So I do have a set of spare socks in my bag. They are larger wool socks, but these ones are thinner wool socks, so they'll dry a bit faster than the large wool would. But if I need those, I've got them. So some of the more observant of you may notice that there's some important stuff missing, which is winter clothing. We have that sitting over the side here, and I figured we're already gonna have that stuff in use if a situation goes on, which I do. I've been needing my cold stuff, so 5 minutes. 5 minutes right there. Wow, that's not too bad. Not too bad. I mean, I'd like it to be faster than that, but if I want it to be faster, for example, I could just keep my whole bag in a larger Faraday cage. That's a very good option. I've thought about doing that, but they're about $30 or something, or maybe more than that per steel can, and so, or steel bucket. So, all right, well that's that. I'm gonna get the stuff loaded up into the car. I'm gonna grab my winter clothes, and I forgot to have my snowshoes up here. My wife's snowshoes are right here, but mine are up here. So that's one thing I noticed I did wrong today. And I should have had my snowshoes up here, and that's one nice thing about doing this, is that I can see little tiny things that I need to fix. For example, I realized that I didn't have, my socks were packed in here for my boots, and so before I did all this, I moved them into my boots so that I'm just going to keep my socks there perpetually so that I can just pick them up and they've got socks in them already. But I'm going to go grab my snowshoes and move the stuff into the car, grab my coat. We're ready to go. Alright, so I'm on my way down to the spot where I'm going to do the mock bug out. I mentioned before that my wife is coming down. So today is Thursday. I took some time off of work to do this. My wife's going to be coming down tomorrow on Friday after work. She couldn't get the time off to go with me, so I grabbed Penny from my parents' house. She seemed a bit reluctant to get into the kennel this time, but I think she's going to have a great time when she's out. I just really do not think she likes cars. She does not like traveling. She barks every once in a while, but I think it's just because she's lonely back there. But I could try to let her inside, but she can't stand being inside of cars. I tried to get her to sit down on the seat in the passenger seat, and she won't sit. She won't lay down. She has to stand and crouch just the whole time. Crouch and just tight, muscles tight, won't relax. It's just miserable to look at. But if I put her in the kennel in the back, she'll at least lay down back there. So yeah, it looks like she's standing up back there right now, but she stands up and lays down and stuff like that. Not the most comfortable ride for her, but just trying to deal with what her comfort zone is and trying to do the most comfortable thing and try to get her out there, because I know she likes going, but she doesn't like getting there. I ran by the store, grabbed a bunch of food. I just did some canned stuff and some things like oatmeal, stuff like that. I didn't want to use my mountain house, as I mentioned before, because it's so expensive. The meals for doing this, 3 meals a day for 2.5 days is what I'm planning so far. Times about $8 a piece is pretty pricey. $6 or $8 a piece. So this thing though, with all the canned goods, stuff like that, I got less than $20. So it's a much cheaper than the alternative. First time I've taken this truck off-roading in snow. It's doing just fine. Granted, this is a nice, easy path. Already been ridden over a bunch of times by several other trucks, I'm sure. Loving all this snow. Doesn't look like I'll quite need snowshoes, but we'll see how that goes if there's some snow drifts. Sorry about any bouncing or something like that. This road's pretty rough. Holding the camera by hand, so. Penny is stoked to get out of this box here. Hear that tail going crazy. Got her thing strapped down like crazy so she doesn't get hurt. There we go. There we go. Look at all that snow. Do you like snow? I've never seen her in snow before. I bet you she's gonna have a fun time. Well, the truck here performed great. I was going up a hill, had to put it into 4-wheel drive to get up the hill. Just didn't have enough traction. But once I got it into 4 low, it did great up the hill. Off in this stuff here, it did just fine. Oh, that's freaking cold, dog. Holy cow. She just got up on my chest. That was cold with her feet there. So, got a couple concerns from this trip. Namely Penny's feet here. So she is going to be in all this snow and hopefully she can take it. I brought some stuff to get her up off the cold snow once we find camp. But even if at night, we'll have to see if she can dry off enough
just keep herself warm. So I'm gonna get my pack unloaded, turn this camera off for a minute, get all that stuff loaded up, and we'll get going. Got my whole super heavy pack loaded up. Penny has been going nuts, trying to get me to go. She doesn't understand why I don't just go. On the top here is my kit for Penny. I've got dog food for her. I've got a Mylar insulation that you can buy from hardware stores. It's meant for houses, things like that. Inside of it's a blanket. So that's my kit to get her off the ground and so that she doesn't freeze. She is actively running around right now. So she's looking for chipmunks. She ate one last time, I believe. It was a chipmunk. I'm sure she's hoping for more. So I'm seeing plenty of elk tracks, stuff like that around here. But I am not seeing any human tracks, which is good. Don't want to bug anybody. My pack is quite heavy right now. I've got probably an extra 10 pounds of camera equipment, batteries, tripod, a second camera, my primary camera. This is my GoPro. I use this one for this because it's so much lighter to hold on to. So I picked this area because there is pine trees and aspens. So I like to go to places where there is a contrast, a change of trees and things to get new resources. Pine trees offer some stuff, aspens offer other things. There's going to be some particular challenges this time with fire starting. It's going to be very difficult. I would like to try to do it with char cloth. Hold on, I gotta strap this all together. That's a tiny bit better. It's hurting my back a bit. This is more weight than I would want. I had somebody on my channel comment and say, Army guys carry 100-pound packs. Yours is only like 50 pounds. You can take more than that. I'm like, those Army guys are ripped. They're in shape. I'm not in that good a shape. Okay, got some cut wood here, human cut, not very much though. I'm looking for a place with more aspen. I was hoping to use downed leaves to make my shelter, but this whole mountain is snow. So that's out of the cards. So I can try to make some sort of snow shelter, which I don't like. I don't know, it could be a lot of work to make a whole igloo is what I would think. I do have my tarp, but I'd rather have that underneath me for wetness. So on my way up here, I was thinking about what sort of area I would like to pick. In addition to something that's contrasted, has different trees and resources in one spot, I would like to have snow. And I want snow because if there's not snow, then that means the snow melted and it's wet. So the snow is dry, right? It's frozen. It's not going anywhere. It's not going to make me colder by soaking my clothing and absorbing it. My clothing can keep it out and I can stay warm that way. Here we go. This looks like a pre-built something. This looks like humans did it. I could use this right here. This is some sort of, this looks like humans did it because it's stacked. So I can use this. I'll take a look around on it for a little bit. I do have my AR-15, got my mag in, safety on, nothing in the chamber. So if I was going to use this, rack it, safety off, ready to go. Might want to make it just safety or just racket. Yeah, this is absolutely humans. This spot could work. A lot of the work is done already. I'm not seeing much firewood around though. I've got aspen straight up. Oh, there's a little bit. I mean, this stuff is kind of firewood, but I need dead standing is what I need. I'm not really seeing much of that right now. I'm gonna keep looking around. Honestly, I'm not going very far. I might just take off my pack and leave it here and then wander around, but I do need practice walking with this thing, so I should probably keep it on. The snow is only about ankle deep. It's not too bad. It just covers up my shoes. My shoes are Gore-Tex, so I'm not worried about getting wet. I do have some wool socks for later in the night once it gets colder, but right now I'm walking around and I don't need them. Okay, got this little spot of pine trees here, which might be a really good shelter. Maybe I'd have to get in there and crawl around a bit, but it could be underneath there. I rarely see stuff quite like this. There's even some good fire starter right there. I'm gonna take my pack off and scout around inside of there. All right, so got my pack off, got my coat off. I'm starting to sweat underneath there. That's not good. Don't want to sweat because that's cold. That can kill me very easily. So let's take a look underneath here. Dang it, dog, you should go in there for scale. This could be pretty decent. It would need quite a bit of work though. I'd have to really clear out a lot of these branches. I'm not sure about the condition underneath. The snow though could be full of twigs and stuff like that. That would make it really uncomfortable. I do need to find a place that both my wife and I can sleep. So this could work. I'm gonna go look around the other side of this here. Okay. That looks a lot better from this angle. That's super open right there. Could definitely make that work. Fire though would have to be further away from this. I don't want the pine tree to light on fire, obviously. If I clear it out, I think my wife and I both could fit here. I'm gonna continue to look around though. I'm gonna leave my pack where it is. I'm gonna grab my rifle and we'll look around for a better spot, but that's easy right there. Easy. I mean, I'm not expecting any snow. It's just gonna be cold. I'm expecting something like 10 degrees Fahrenheit, something like that. My bag is rated for comfort to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're really gonna test out that bag tonight. But I will have Penny in there. I'm sure that's gonna be nice for us to both stay warm like that. Let's do some more scouting around. This is my new idea. This looks pretty good. So right here, it's about my waist height right here. Got plenty of room. Yeah, you got Penny in there for scale, that's nice. So I won't have to do a whole lot. Oh man, can't bend over too much to get water on the backs of my thighs from my boots. This looks really good. Just a few branches to clear out, which I can use to make some more cover. Quit poking me, Penny. And look at her, look at her. She's just like, love me now, please. Did you hear something? There's probably nothing there. Everything's asleep right now, Penny. It's all sleeping, hibernating. All right, anyways, this looks really good. This looks like it could fit both my wife and I. Just have to clear out these little branches right here at the base. Clear out this guy coming down. Clear out the ground. I'll have to do like a makeshift broom, which will just be a stick. Or maybe one of these boughs, pine boughs. That spot looks fantastic. Can probably even break a few branches and have a small fire that won't go up into the canopy. So, and there's still plenty of dead wood here. I'm already most of the way back to my pack, so it's not far. from where I was. This whole area is great. Water is a huge concern. There's no stream here, but I've got snow. And luckily, it's all fresh snow. So as long as I just warm it up, it should be just fine to eat or drink straight up. And I won't get sick. Got my pack here. I'm gonna grab that, move over there. We'll start modifying this shelter. All right, got my pack back on. I look like a friggin' turtle. Look at this thing, it's ridiculous. Lots of that's camera gear though. And on top is stuff for Penny. Winter does pose some different challenges. I do have a set of clothes in there. Once I'm done with the shelter, we'll probably go through my gear. A lot of people are probably watching this, never seen a video of mine before, so you guys don't know what I've got in this pack. On the way back here, I forgot my spot GPS in the car, so I went back and grabbed it. It's not too far, maybe a quarter mile. I realized that my backs of my legs here are just covered in water, just from snow getting flipped up behind me as I walk. So I grabbed my snowshoes to see if that makes a difference. It makes a little bit of a difference, but it could be that it was just already too wet anyways. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get started clearing this out. I'll try to get past the snow if I can. It's gonna be really difficult to do that, but really I just need to make sure my pad isn't gonna get punctured. Oh, dang it. Oh. Okay, I'm sure plenty more of that to come. One of the challenges I'm sure I'm going to face here is just trying to keep my camera dry. I've just got a lot of, there's going to be little bits of snow dropping on it constantly. Hopefully my cameras can be okay through that. So to save this is probably really good wood. Here, I'm going to put it on top of my snowshoes over here. Keep it up and out a bit better. It's certainly dry on the outside. The inside looks really good. Dang it, dog, be careful. This is the Boreal 21. Folding bow saw by Agawa Canyon. I have a review on this on my channel. It folds up and out. I love this thing. Absolutely love it. Just like that. One piece. Wow. Together it's one piece. Just like that. Taut saw. It is wonderful. So I'm wondering how hard I need to try to keep this out of the snow. It's not hot, so if the snow hits it, it's not going to melt it. So I don't think that these are going to get wet just from touching snow. I'm just trying to clear out this bigger stuff so that when I walk around in here, I'm not going to keep knocking snow on myself, getting snow on my gear or on myself, which is quite frustrating. I got some pine sap here coming out. That's some good stuff. Can try and use that when I'm making a fire. This is much bigger, but it still looks dry to me. I'm gonna keep stacking. This dog is just begging for attention. Hey, it's fine. It's fine. She doesn't look like she's shivering at all. I think she's doing just great. Very jealous that her feet can take this kind of abuse. Mine would be torn up. No, dang it, dog. It's gonna get me soaked. Away. Alright, well, I'm gonna cut the camera off here. This is not super exciting. I'm just gonna clear all this stuff out. Probably tear this little pine tree or something out right here. Get this spot cleared out. Alright, so I just cut off one of these pine boughs. It looks pretty decent as a broom. It's not the best though, but it can help me get some of this snow and stuff out of here. Looks like there's a sort of spiky bush underneath here, like a raspberry or something. Could be wild raspberry, but I doubt it. getting down to these leaves, which is good. So I gotta make a spot big enough for me and Penny at least. It'd be nice if I could clear it out for my wife as well, but she may want to get some practice doing stuff like this. You know, I'm sure she doesn't get enough experience, you know, sweeping. That's a joke, because she doesn't really sweep all that much. We don't have kids, so we both do all the house chores. I'm gonna put down my tarp underneath to protect my sleeping mat. Hopefully that's well enough protected. I'd love to have a shovel, but that's just more weight I gotta carry. I'd love to have a shovel and an axe, but it's so heavy as it is. Then you put winter on top of that, so you gotta bring a coat. Man, it's just heavy. All right, it's looking pretty decent. I think I need to get down here and dig out some more of these little bushes and stuff that are underneath. All right, one lesson learned is trying to tiptoe around and not get snow all over your back doesn't work. Poke these first and get all the snow to come off so it stops getting on your back. I've got most of these branches already. But right here, that's all right where my head's gonna be. I don't want that falling off in the middle of the night in my face, scaring me, chilling me. My sleeping bag is down, so if it gets too cold, that could cause or it gets too wet, that could pose a serious issue. It is treated down, so it should resist pretty well, and the outside of it is hopefully not going to be warm enough to melt the snow. But either way, I want to get rid of this stuff now. Poke it, get it out. Whoa, would you look at that? She took the bait. Turns out having a blanket is what she looks for. Last time she kept sitting on my sleeping bag. So she's got a blanket and a Mylar insulation there, so she should be toasty from the ground and hopefully not too wet. I mean, she's going to be wet on her fur, but I think she's going to be just fine. I think we're both going to have a nice cozy night. Now that I've got the canopy cleared out and free of falling snow, I'm really putting a lot of work into where I'm going to sleep. Getting a good night's sleep is extremely important to keep yourself from getting sick and to be able to stay focused and a myriad of things. It's really important to sleep. So I'm going to spend a lot of time clearing out little twigs. I even had a huge root, about that big. I got rid of that thing because it was up on the surface. Clearing this whole thing out so that I can have a nice comfortable sleep. All right, well, I've got the ground underneath me pretty well taken care of, but I want to get my sleeping bag opened up so it can fluff up for tonight. So I'm gonna pull out my pad from underneath all this stuff. There it is. Got my water bladder on top of here. Don't want to mess with it too much. Don't think it's gonna break or anything, but I want to take the chance. I'm probably gonna be doing some cooking stuff, so pull my cooking kit out. I do like to keep everything in bags, so this is my cooking kit. So I just pulled out, and I know what it is. I know what's got in it. I don't have a huge bunch of junk to sift through in the bag that can move around. So this is my pad, not a crazy special one. It's just a Thermarest Scout, I believe is what it's called. That's my clothes. I'll put that back in. These are my electronics. Gonna put those back in. My radio is on the outside of my bag, but it is waterproof. Actually, I should say rain resistant, not waterproof. Can't dunk it, but you can let it get rained on. All right, let's get the sleep mat laid out and then we'll move on to a fire. Almost forgot my tarp. Can't forget the tarp. It's what's gonna keep this sleeping mat from getting punctured. The sleeping mat also has, it's also Mylar, or I'm sorry, this tarp is Mylar and a tarp. So it's pretty tough, but it also can keep you warm. It's a good combo. I use it primarily as underneath me for bedding. That's about it. I thought about throwing a second one in my pack as cover on top of me, but I don't. I like something a little bit longer lasting. This, when it gets touched by an ember from a fire, touches it, burns a hole in it. This has several little holes in it just from that. That's it. Alright, so unfortunately, my battery died about halfway through talking about my sleeping bag. I'm going to start over again. I laid on my mat here to kind of feel the ground underneath, and it felt like the area underneath my butt was a bit too high, which I pretty much always run into. So I'm going to clear this out, kind of pull it further down so I don't want kind of an empty spot for my hips, things like that. I always end up with sore hips on these trips. So, all right, there we go. There we go, got my tarp. So I was talking about my tarp. I want to do my own, a custom tarp. They call them an oilskin tarp. Basically, from what I can tell on YouTube, is other people take a large flat bed sheet, soak it in linseed oil, let it dry and cure, and then they've got a tarp. Supposedly they're pretty tough. They're tougher than these at least, and I'm hoping they're more ember resistant. I'm not gonna, it's definitely not fire retardant. It'll start a fire pretty good, but hopefully it can take an ember and not get a hole burned through it, not light on fire. So that's what I'm hoping for. This is my sleeping bag. This is a North Face, brand new. My wife pretty much insisted that I get it for this trip because my other sleeping bag is good down to like 40 degrees. And we're gonna get probably 20, 30 below that. So this is rated, it says 5 degrees Fahrenheit bag, negative 15 Celsius. It says comfort is to 21 degrees Fahrenheit, limit is 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and the extreme is negative 36 Fahrenheit. I'm expecting to be within the comfort and the limit level tonight, about negative 10 degrees Celsius, something like that. And I've got a good pad, a decent pad. I've got good underneath me. I got Penny here, you know, whatever. She's loving her little nook I made for her. Turns out the trick is putting fabric on it so she can ruin it. And then she'll stay.